Good morning and welcome to my channel, Perfect Pastimes. My name's Amanda, my friends call me Amo, and I live in Dorset in the southwest of England with my husband and my 3 dogs. And you can see Gwynnie is over there and Willow is on her perch bit over there. So if you hear any groans, it's not me. And there's the postman. If you're new here, you're very welcome. Please consider liking and subscribing, and always leave a comment. I always answer all my comments, and it's very nice to have you here. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. You know what you're in for. Usually a little bit of chaos with the dog sometimes, but that's my channel. You will have seen on the beginning of the video, I did manage to take Gwyn out for a lovely walk in the frost at the beginning of the year. It's the first time in 20 or so years we have not been to the beach for sunrise on either Christmas Day or New Year's Day, but it is quite away from us, so it's quite a thing to do. And these two of my dogs are getting quite old now. They're 12 and 14. And they're not really water babies, and Gwynnie's not fussed about the water, but we started the tradition because my previous dogs were very much water babies and they used to love going in the water. One, you couldn't get out of the water, so it was a bit of a pain, but it was a lovely treat to do, to watch the sunrise, and it was a bit sad that we didn't do it this year, but I did take Gwynnie on a lovely walk, which you'll have seen. You'll have also seen that I have been working on my bag, which I will show you about a bit later. And I have got some knitting for you today, and a few plans for the Make 9 and some drawing, I think. Now we'll start with what I'm wearing, and this is my Sucre cardigan, which is a Rowan make with brushed. I'll put it on the screen. It's quite old now, a couple of years old, and it's over my Fiola by Isabel Kramer. I'll put the links to the actual patterns down below, and possibly the episodes where I talk about them. Okay, my thoughts for the year ahead. I haven't made any resolutions. I don't make resolutions anymore. I just carry on with my will to try and use what I have already. And my little mantra is, do I need it? Will I use it? And it's worked for me for about 12 years now, so I'm still going. And it's just a nice little reminder when I'm about to buy things. because I have an awful lot of things to get through, and I'm getting there. It's a long way to go yet though. Anyway, right, let me see. I have a finished item to show you, and that is my Icelandscape shawl. This is the Stephen West's Icelandscape shawl. Now, it comes to a lovely place for me. I like it there. It sits nice. It doesn't overwhelm me. I don't feel overly being throttled by a scarf, because you may notice, if you've seen the pictures, or if you're making one, or if you've seen other people making one, I am missing a very, very large chunk of the pattern. I did the garter stitch, I did the moss stitch section rather than the brioche, I did the other garter stitch, and I did this lovely, have I got that right way around? No, I haven't. There we go. Did this lovely sort of waffly weave pattern. Then I did the other garter stitch, and then I started doing the mountains, and they are very much short rows. He does quite a lot of short rows in his shawls, and for 3 nights I was doing the first row of the mountains all along underneath this garter. 3 nights, and I still hadn't finished the first row, and I was thinking, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And I didn't like the way they were coming out. I didn't like the feel of them and the way they were looking, and I was fighting with it. And I don't believe you should fight against things or push through things that you're not enjoying. I mean, there are occasions when you can or when you should, but to be honest, I was really not enjoying the mountains. So I took the massive decision to unpick 3 nights work and go straight into the lace edge. And I can't tell you how happy I am that I did that. It is the perfect size that I like. I don't need a massive scarf, especially for traveling if I'm going to take this to Iceland. I don't need to feel overwhelmed by a scarf or a shawl or whatever. And personally, I think that for me is more than enough. It covers the area I need it to work with. I think it looks nice. I think the colours go well, and I am over the moon that I took that decision to take out those mountains. I did have a look on Ravelry to see how other people were making this, and there were a couple on there who'd also taken the mountains out, which sort of cemented my decision to do it. But the waffly weave bit is lovely. I really enjoyed doing that bit. Garter stitches were a bit long, but it's just garter stitch. I could bang them out quite quickly. So this is my Icelandscape shawl by Stephen West with my own modifications in it. And I now can put it upstairs, ready to take on my trip. There we go. Even folds up quite nicely that size, doesn't it? There was one other little finish this week. I managed to finish the other little mouse that went with the white one that I made at Christmas time. So I don't know where, well, I do know where the other one is. It's in a box in the loft with all the Christmas decorations, but I don't know which one it's in. So I may keep this one out until next Christmas. It was a Trimmets kit, needle felting kit. You've already seen the white one, and now I have the brown one as well. So I'll hang this one up somewhere. Probably totally forget I've got it next Christmas. But that's one box out of my bag of projects to make or finish off. I did do what I said I was going to do, and I found my basket. You can see it just there, and in that basket I have all the projects that have bags and patterns to go with them, and they are ready to grab should I have a need to do something else. And in that basket will be the other mouse kits, two stitch ones, that's 4 mice to be stitched, and another couple of the Trimmets patterns to go along with those two. I've got the skiing ones and the tartan ones. One of the kits that I had in that bag was on my Make 9, which I talked about in the last episode, and it's almost a kit. I had this beautiful Yarn for the Soul. There's the label. Yarn for the Soul. Not sure that focused for you. Yarn for the Soul. There we go. Luxury hand-dyed yarns. She's in, it's not Froome, it's somewhere over in that direction. Warminster? One of the ones anyway. And it's a 75/25 merino, 425 meters. So that makes 12.75, which should be enough for a sweater. I also have the Kid Silk Haze in 00676 shade, which is a sort of a bluey grey, because there's quite a bit of grey in this. And it's a silvery, bluey, green grey. It matches beautifully in reality anyway. And because I'm not too sure if I am going to be able to make a sweater in this quantity, I think I could, but I don't want to play yarn chicken. What I've decided to do is find I'm going to unravel in February up in Farnham, and I'm going to find another skein of yarn, more of a solid colour to go with this. It may be the dark sagey blue or sea glass blue or the grey or something like that, a plain colour. And I'm going to make again the Calliope. I don't have a full picture of it, but it's the one, oh yes I do. It's the one I made with Shannon's Apothecary Advent last year. Not the year just gone, the one before. I made it in January 2024 from the December 2023 Advent. And yeah, if you can see on there, it has very long cuffs. So I'm going to make the body of this as long as I can, as long as I'm comfortable with. And then I'm going to do the sleeves. And if I think I'm going to be running out, I'm going to make the cuffs in the contrast colour, in a big block of colour going down. It will still be held with the Kid Silk Haze. So it will still have that colour graduation go through with the Kid Silk Haze. So I will have to find a more solid colour to go with that Seascape, which was by Yarn for the Soul. And I'm pleased I came to that decision. I was going to try and find a colourwork sweater that I could use up some of the space with colourwork. But of course, a lot of the time I'll be carrying that along the back anyway, so I wouldn't necessarily gain too much. But I got that plan now, so I'm finally happy I've got that to do. Now I do have 2 colourwork sweaters that I'm going to add to my Make 9, and I think I then only have to find one more thing to put on my Make 9. These are both by Jen Steingass, who knit Love Wool. And right at this moment, as I am recording on the 10th of January, she has 50% off her patterns. And I have Goldwing, and I have Dramer. Oh. And there's her name there, Jen Steingass. And this one, the Dramer, I believe is Aran weight, and the Goldwing is DK. So I think I will have those in my phone for when I also go to Unravel. And it will give me another couple of projects to look out for the yarn for. I think I might try and find Goldwing. I'm more likely to find a DK in the Hand Eyes show than I am an Aran. Amber from A Lovely Yarn has done the Dramer in Drops Air. And I have found a couple of colours in Drops Air that I really like the look of. So I may give that a go with Drops Air. I do like a blown yarn. But that one definitely needs, I think, a bit of squishing of real DK. Work out what that is and take that also with the skein of the other one along to the Farnham and see what I can find. So that will be 2 more things in my project bucket, and my Make 9 box will now look like this. Okay, the only other finish I have done this week, because I was working so much on the Icelandscape Shawl, is my Babylon leather bag. You will have seen I was working on that at the beginning, and I have finished it. Got the strap with all the hardware, and it's there. It's like a Longchamp pliage bag. It's canvas with leather. And inside, again, it's quite roomy, and I am going to keep this in my car excuse me, with all my golfing extras in it. Because it's been Christmas and I haven't been golfing too much, I brought all my golf clubs in. I tend to keep all my golf stuff in the car because I'm up and down all the time, and I hate getting up there and realise I've left something like my clubs behind. Unless they get really wet or dirty, I leave them in the car. So there's also lots of things like extra balls, extra hoodies, hats, scarves, spare pair of trousers in case I get too wet. So I'm going to keep all of that in here in my car and keep it all together, because I had to empty the car. It took ages because there's lots of little bits. Now I have a Babylon leather bag, which I made totally myself. You'll have seen the clipping, and I still have my 10% off, which you can use as well as any offers on the website. I'll put the link below, and I'll put it on the screen now. If you click through and have a look, they've got some lovely gifts over there that you can make for yourself or you can make for somebody else. And they've also now got the silk and leather range, which is pre-made, and they're all beautiful. Once I'd finished my Icelandscape shawl, I did manage to pick up my Compton and actually get past the hearts. The Compton is by the Knitting Shed. I've spoken about it several times, and it was on my Make 9, and it's this cotton. It's the one with the hearts along the bottom and on the sleeves, and it's by the Knitting Shed. And I have got past the hearts. It's done in the round, but it is bottom up. And there are my hearts. And last time I showed you, I was down there just before the beginning of the normal knitting. So I can now move that stitch marker and carry on up with that. It's a nice easy TV knit, that is, and a non-thinky one really. And this is being made in Drops Lima, which is a wool alpaca mix, 65 wool, 35 alpaca, and this colour is 701. I don't know if you can, it doesn't look like that in real. It's a proper tealy green blue. That looks more royal there. It's not. Oh, you're gonna love a screen, haven't you? Anyway, so I can now get on with that as and when. There's been some good television programs that we've been catching up with. I like a bit of a binge watch, so we tend to catch things up. We've just finished watching Cemetery Road, all in about 3 nights, which was great. Another thing I wanted to make was some mittens. I've got a few, and I've got some flat top mittens, fingerless mittens, and I wanted some fingerless mittens with a long cuff that I could have up over my fingertips or down so I can use my fingers. And I saw somewhere someone had mentioned the Point Edward mitts, and I've forgotten who it was. If it's somebody that's watching this now, I apologise. Point Edward mitts, and they are a free pattern by Fairlight Fibres, and the cuff on the thumb and the cuff on the hand rolls back down, or it rolls up and goes over the fingertips. Now, in my stash, I had quite a lot of leftover Alpaca Soft, Rowan Alpaca Soft DK in a variety of colours. So I made up the colours as I went along to use up the stash scraps. And there they are. And I can have the ribbing up to cover my hands, my fingers, my thumb. Or I can have it down to any length I like, which is handy when you got the dog. And I can also use my phone if I want to take some videos. And it's alpaca, and it's lovely, soft and warm, and it's only done on a, I think it was a 3.5mm needle. I'm doing that on DPNs, so for a DK that gives you a nice fabric, I think. And that's how far I am with the second one. So I'm up to about there. I should think this evening I will finish that off. I'm just mixing the colours as I see fit. I'm now out of this purple bar a little bit that I need for there on the other one. So that's a great use of colour from my stash, and I can tick all that off, and made a little room in my stash, which is brilliant. So I think that's what I'm going to get on with tonight. Ready for walking. Such a lovely yarn. I hope it'll wear okay, being alpaca. Oh, I better put the pattern on there, hadn't I? While I was looking for that, oh, let's get it away, that basket there, I was looking for a few other bits, and by my door I've got a little hook station where all my project bags hang, and in one of the bags I have quite a lot of purse frames. Do I have it? This kind of purse frame. This is a little purse I made a while ago. I have another one over there with labels that you sew in the back of garments in, and this sometimes has notions in it. But I got a bag with quite a lot. I used to make a lot of felt bags and sell them on my open studios, and in there is some clam bags, frames, and I found the one that I had made the clam for, but it needs lining. So I'm not sure what yarn this is. I think it's Namaste, which is a Sheppy's one. It's nice and soft. It's done quite densely for knitting. I wanted to do a crochet one, but I don't think I've got the yarn out for that one yet. So now I've found the frames and this purse, I will find that out. Also bag it up and put it in my bag basket. But this one will have to go in there for a bit because I think it needs lining. If I'm going to use this for socks or a small project bag, I will have to line it because I wouldn't want my needles poking through that. So that was an interesting find that can also go in my project basket for things to do. And that's everything creative for knitting and yarny stuff, and a little bit of sewing with the mouse, of course, and felting. I have bought something this week which arrived, and it was another sock set from Spin and Leather, who I did the Advent 24-day Advent sock striping, self-striping sock yarn Advent, and I enjoyed doing that so much with the little stripes on it. I bought another one from her, and this is called Wednesday's Child. And it's another self-striping set. They're already in the pairs, and the contrast is called Window Woes. And there's the Spin and Leather logo. Is that focused there? Wednesday's Child and Window Woes. And you will probably figure out that this is from the programme Wednesday, which we are big fans of, and the fact that she has a window in her room that she shares that has lots of colours on it, but her half is black and white. So I have another set of self-striping yarn to ball up and get underway, which will also go with my black boots this time rather than my brown ones. So that's the only thing I've purchased this week. Yes. So now I've shown you it all in its beautiful yarniness, I can go and wind that on. I did say last time I saw you I was going to start the 30-day sketchbook challenge with Susan Yates. I have put the link down below if you wanted to have a look. Yes, it's a paid for, but you get quite a lot for your paid for. And there are plenty of free ones out there. We're obviously up to day 10 today, which I haven't done, but I have done the other days. So I found myself a sketchbook, and I have been adding my sketches. First day was a bit of a warm-up for me. It's a long time since I've done any drawing, but the prompt was grass. So I did some pencil sketching for grass. Day 2 was shell, and I did a watercolour monocolour. This is a little A5 sketchbook, and it's only cartridge paper, so it doesn't really take water very well. So a lot of the time when I'm working with wet medium, I've done it on a piece of, I've got loads and loads of old watercolour pads and a whole stack of watercolour paper that's been taken out of other pads or donated to me or whatever, leftovers from cutting pictures down, and I paint or draw on that and then stick it into my book, which won't take very well water media. Day 3, it was stationery. So I drew the items that were on my desk, which was my pens on my pen rest and my watercolour well, and that I just use a micron pen for. Day 4, the prompt was petal. So before they went over, I did a watercolour of my amaryllis. Again, that's done on a separate piece of paper, cut out and put in my book. Day 5 was favourite food, and I happen to have an apple next to me, so I did pencils and an apple using just crayons, pencil crayons. Day 6 was something colourful. Now I do love a collage, so I dug around in one of my bits bags, boxes and things, and found some papers and popped them down with some colour, and then when it's all dry I put over some extra ink, so that was quite colourful for me. Day 7 was circles, and I used some pad inks and some stencils, layer and layer and layer and layer. Day 8 was something square. So seeing as I was enjoying doing some collage, I made some little mini collages. Day 9, now this is, the prompt was something in your hand, and I spent most of the day trying to think about this one, but I kept coming back to the fact that I had done CPR on John and his life was in my hands briefly. So I drew a heart, and not a pretend heart, a real heart. So if you're a little bit squeamish, look away now. So that's the heart I drew, and I titled it 0109021, and yesterday was 0901/2026. So there's the heart, and you can look back again now. I drew that because during John's treatment we saw his heart from so many angles, with ultrasounds and x-rays and all this wonderful medical equipment. I went in with him on nearly every test he had done, and I've seen his heart working, which bits don't work quite so well now, and all the angles of his heart could possibly be, and that was still going because for a moment his life was in my hands, and that's what I did for that one. And the 10th is today, and I haven't done today's prompt, which I think is vase, which I haven't looked up yet. So I will let that stew in the old grey cells and see what I come up with that, and I may show you next time. So what have you been up to this week? Let me know in the comments below if you've been creative in other ways other than just yarn. If you like doing a little bit of everything like I do. I will now go and sort my boot of my car out, I think, with my new bag and put my bits in it. I have been down to play golf a couple of times, but with the weird weather, they keep shutting the course because either it's too icy and it's going to break the grass, or it's too thawing and it's going to break the roots off the grass. So they quite rightly look after the course for us. So pleased with that, really. I'm getting ready to go to Iceland soon, and I've yet to figure out what I'm going to take as knitting while I'm away, or crochet. I might take some crochet. It's a little bit easier, isn't it? So I will now go and sort my bag out, sort out maybe my other makes I want to put in the basket there, and what I can take. Maybe there's something in that basket I could take on the trip. Yeah, so let me know what you're up to. Let me know where you're at with your creativity, and how your weather is. I know some of you in Australia are having a bit of a heat problem. We've just got through Storm Goraki? Storm Goraki, I think it was anyway. And Cornwall got it pretty bad. Poor St Michael's Mount lost 80% of its trees, and some of them are so old. It's a very sad sight if you see it online. But I might take Gwynnie for a nice frosty walk later, because it looks beautiful out there at the moment. It's all blue skies and white frost. So for now, I hope you have a lovely week, and I will see you again very soon. So stay safe, stay creative, and I'll say bye for now.